Why won't my thing stay up? My camera, it won't stay up. Just kidding. Staying up right now. Is that magic? Is that magic I see? No, it's still not staying up. Anyway, so you've clicked the video, you know what the topic is. I just want to say thank you guys so much for subscribing to me. This is the 400th subscriber special, and I'm going to teach you how to learn Maori, the Polynesian language, from scratch. Shout out to my boy, Callan Soden. I hope I said it right. You told me how to say it, and that's how to say it. If you want a shout out, just drop a comment below in the, the comment section of the video or whatever. And this episode, if you want a shout out, tell me one interesting fact about yourself. And the most interesting fact will get a shout out in the next video. Promise. Anyway, let's start. So, we're learning Maori from scratch. What do we need to consider? First, we need to understand the context behind Maori, otherwise known as Te Reo Maori, the language Maori, in Maori. It is an Eastern Polynesian language. It will have a number of cognates with others in the family. So if you already know, let's say, Samoan or Hawaiian, you are more able to understand the Maori language because there will be cognates and similarities in both grammar and structure and overall awesomeness. There will also be cognates with New Zealand English. Why am I not centered? Am I centered? Yeah, now I'm centered. Okay, great. Every episode is an adventure. It has a Latin writing system, but there are only 15 letters, of which 2 are digraphs. The letters NG, Ng, I think, or Nha. I can't remember what I looked at online like not 5 minutes ago. And then WH. I will have a complete guide in the description on how to pronounce everything in the Maori language, and actually there will be several resources in the description below because I can't get into every grammatical point, but I want you guys to be able to explore this language to its fullest capabilities if you so choose. Which is why I'm not really trying to pronounce any words in this episode. And because I'm terrible with pronouncing words because I'm a little deaf in one ear. Which is not my fault. I sometimes blame my mother. Dumbest joke today. My bad, everybody. If you add a little line above any of the vowels, you get the long form of the vowel. It gets longer, it spreads out a bit more. Older text will just put 2 of the same letters in a row. So Maori nowadays has the little line above the A, but before it was M-A-A-O-R-I. Don't forget the I. The word he can either mean a or some. So you're going to see the word a lot in writings, and that can mean either a or some. Like Mandarin, you're going to have to understand from context what some things mean. It's not bad, though, that you have to do that, because you're going to have to learn and stay a little bit more obsessed with vocabulary in order to get everything that you need out of the language. Is that too bright? Not too bright? What's going on? It's okay. The letter A is in particle /article and is right before personal nouns. So in a sentence, I would have a Michael. And that would mean that there's that Michael is a personal noun. I mean, you could probably guess that. But a lot of words, like in Hawaiian, yesterday, whenever I did the Duolingo Hawaiian video, there were a lot of words that I couldn't quite tell if those were personal names or not. And now seeing that there's a letter specifically devoted to the personal names in that language, going back, I'd be able to recognize if something was a personal name or not almost immediately, which is pretty great. Verbs do not conjugate, just like Mandarin. Weird. And I guess Hawaiian too. Weird. Instead, add a particle before the verb to change its tense. Now, what is a particle, you might ask? Well, it's like a free-forming, free-flowing, free word that you can put in front of other words or after words in grammatical situations across many languages. It'd be like articles, like a, the, an, or of would be one. Prepositions can be particles. It is a verb, subject, object order. So the verb will come at the beginning, then the subject, and then the object, typically. There's always exceptions in every language. All the basic grammar and rules. But if you see the verb verb in a sentence, that is most likely the beginning of another phrasal. Fun fact. The most important piece of Maori grammar is the base, which is a word with a dictionary meaning. Yeah, so it's like the word, it's basically a word that you can tack on articles in front of or affixes in front of or behind, and that's it. That is the most important piece. You have to have the base in order to form more sentences. The phrase is equally important in Maori, and you'll get more into that in the resources below. I don't want to go into a heavy explanation because I don't fully understand it all myself, and I don't want to fool you into thinking that I do understand it all, because I am trying to learn every language in the world, but that doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily know it all at once or today. You know what I mean? The internet is your friend. There's a lot of resources out there for you, and some of those resources are going to be brought below. There are also 3 forms to the nominative articles. There's the singular, plural, and then there's the 3rd form, which we'll have a separate article on down below. And that's about it. That's what you really need to know before going into the Maori language and learning it from scratch. And if you don't know these, then you are going to be screwed, because it's a complicated language. Sometimes you need explanations in order to understand and form contexts in your head